Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. So I watched The Block this week, a couple of episodes. Now, I don't normally watch The Block, and I'm redoing the video because I screwed up at the end, and it'd be quicker to just re-record it than to re-edit the mistake out. So, yeah, so I normally don't watch The Block. In the 17 years it's apparently been on, I've watched 1 year of it, and that was because I just was looking at one of the guys just by accident one day, and I thought he was cute, and then his wife, I think her name was Beck, revealed that her mother had cancer, and I just kind of got sucked into their personal life, and then I started watching the show, and I watched the whole season that year, and I ended up going to the live event at the end where everyone got to see the finished apartments and all that stuff, and they had like a fair day sort of thing, and they do that every year or whatever. So I've sort of watched the show once and done the whole thing, because it's a Melbourne show, so, you know, I can participate in it to some level, but never watched it again. That was like, I watched it, never watched it again. But I had a bunch of data at the end of the month, and I was sort of thinking, I hadn't used it. I thought, how can I use this? I'll just watch some shows. What's on TV that I haven't watched? And I'd seen ads for the Block and this cheating scandal, and I thought, well, that will be interesting. So I thought it'd just be one episode where they'd show someone getting caught out and then being removed from the show or punished or something. So I watched it, and they didn't do anything. They basically just showed that these people had gotten their hands on images of the schedule for the season and were cheating because they knew what they had to have up in the next week, so they're able to prepare early and have an advantage over the other people, which is really wrong. It's just cheating. And they didn't deal with it. They just left it, and I'm like, oh, okay. So they're basically just going to leave the rats to like eat themselves alive rather than punish them. They're going to or try and work out what happened. They're just going to let them work it out themselves and just sit back and film the drama like it's Real Housewives. Because The Block doesn't work like that. The Block is like a family show. It's about competition and seeing how you can inspire people to like create these beautiful spaces and everything. It's really not about drama. I mean, there's the drama of getting the job done and all that sort of race against time and all that sort of stuff and competition, but it's not like interpersonal drama, lying, backstabbing, manipulation, all that sort of stuff. But that's what this is this week. So it's kind of interesting because, like I said, I hadn't watched the show. I didn't know who anyone was. I mean, I'd seen the promos. I saw the guys in the cowboy outfits looking hot and all that. I had no idea who they are. So, yeah, so basically the twins had these plans for the whole 3 weeks and were acting on them. So they were actively cheating. The purple-haired girl and her very self-righteous partner, husband, whatever, I don't know what he is, she allegedly got the photo sent to her, and she had it for a day, and she said to the twins, did you get this? And he said, no, give it to us, because he wanted the advantage. So she sent it to him, and then she deleted it because she apparently said she freaked out about having it. She deleted it, but left it with them, so allowed them to cheat. And then the the story changes, because she says that they asked for it. They say she sent it to them. Now, if she got this herself and stole this information herself for an advantage, why on earth would she tell anyone? If it was sent to her to give her an advantage, I can see her sort of going, oh God, I didn't ask for this, what do I do? And asking other people about it. And then those guys taking advantage of it and her leaving the advantage with them because she didn't want to deal with it. That does seem a bit more likely, but the way she dealt with it was all over the place. And then she lied, because she said later that she didn't say that they asked for it, and they said they didn't. So who's lying? Someone is, but it looks like these people are immoral anyway. So I found it kind of interesting that these guys put on such a show, because the baffling thing was they didn't try and address it. When you do something in this sort of scenario, you come out, you address it, and you get it out on the table and put it aside, resolve it or put it aside so you can move on with the project or the task or the series or whatever. They didn't do that. They tried to just, it's like, oh, we don't want to be called out on our immorality or our cheating. Like, we don't want to be inconvenienced with people's reactions to being victimized and having someone cheat against them and possibly cost them money and whatever they get out of being on the show. I think they get prize money or something, I don't know. But they just didn't want to address it, and they tried to actually have a meeting and deal with an actual task in regards to digging out the pools early, so when those weeks come up they don't have to do that during the week. And just the audacity of the hubris of trying to just sweep it under the rug, and then acting like, how dare you, like, upset us with your reactions to what we did to you. I mean, my God, how could you do that to us, to want to confront us or want us to address something that we did to you? How could you? I mean, the way this guy, one of the twins, stormed off like something had been done to him, and then to hear him crying later like a little BIT whatever, that oh, these people made him feel stupid. I'm like, where do they find these people? Like, these boys, because they're not men, these boys who are like lying, cheating, and then crying about getting caught and being put on the spot. Basically, if you're a man, you'd actually just address it and say, yeah, I did this. Either I'm sorry, I apologise, or I don't care, I did this because I wanted to. You take responsibility either way. But to sort of try and avoid it and then have a little tantrum and a cry when you actually get called out on it, and people don't just help you sweep it under the rug and ignore like this inconvenience for you, it's just really bizarre. And the kind of thing, like I said, you expect from Real Housewives or one of those other shows, not like The Block. So yeah, I watched it. I watched that first episode, then I watched the second episode that was on tonight, and I'm going to watch the episode on Sunday to see how it concludes, because they did finally address the fact that apparently the producers and that are actually trying to resolve the issue. They want to know who actually, I think, like I said, they left it to see what they would reveal themselves before they started getting serious about asking questions. And it does look like there's going to be consequences on Sunday, which is good, because there should be, because these people who have been competing in, honesty and fairness have been cheated against, and these people have done this, and they either don't understand it's a problem because they have no morals, or they just don't want to get in trouble for it, so they're trying to dismiss it or deflect from it, and they really shouldn't be allowed to. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go on the weekend, but that's it. Once that's over, I'm not watching the rest of the series. I'm not getting sucked into the whole series just for that, but I do want to see how this resolves. Like I said, I watched that one episode thinking it'd be all addressed in one episode, and they'd find something wrong, they'd punish the person that did it, and people would be able to move on. But instead, they have these and I do think there's something a little homophobic in the twins' reaction, because as far as I know, they're straight, but they were reacting really badly to the two older gay guys, because how dare these gay men judge them, like, because they're inferior, so they can't judge these straight guys, because the straight guys are better than that. So there was a bit of that there, and people may not acknowledge that, but it was there. And the queens weren't having any of it. I don't blame them, because why should they? Why should they just sit there and be polite and let these guys get away with something that they did against them? And the girl, the purple hair, who lied and was talking about her truth. No, sorry, honey, there's the truth. There's your experience, your opinion, your feelings, but there's only one truth. And this whole BS of people referring to my truth, like there's different variations of the truth. No, there is one truth. The truth is, you had the photo, you gave it to your friend, you didn't come forward and say to the producer, someone sent me this, it's out. Basically, you guys need to reschedule everything so anyone who has this can't take advantage of it. Like we didn't, but these other guys did, but we allowed them to do that. She should have done that and not allowed it to go on with them cheating week to week and taking advantage of these other people who are competing in fairness. So it's kind of shocking, and I don't know if these guys really don't get, because they're saying, they don't understand how serious this is. I think they do. They're just trying to get out of it. And because they are like kind of reasonably attractive young white men, of course, they probably do get away with everything. They probably do get whatever they want. And they're not happy with the fact that maybe they're going to get some consequences, or maybe they might actually be held accountable or responsible for something that they've done. So it was all very fascinating to watch. And like I said, I'm going to watch the last episode. I'll be watching the episode on Sunday to see what happens. But yeah, I sort of had to do some YouTube therapy. I had to do a bit of a rant about it, because I was watching, I was really annoyed. And I'm like, just talking back to the TV and yelling at these people like, you lied. Why wouldn't they, you know? And then they get so self-righteous and insult the gay guys and put them down and accuse them of being passive-aggressive when they're trying very hard not to react to the disrespect that's being thrown at them the whole time. I don't think they failed. I was going to say they failed, but no, they didn't fail. They waited until they were insulted before they started giving it back. Like you said, oh, you want to see passive-aggressive? I'll give you passive-aggressive. And then like, oh, yeah, see, we knew you gay guys were going to be a problem. Yeah, of course, you homophobic little twats. Yeah, so we'll see what happens on Sunday. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. I can't believe I'm doing a video on the block, but I'm going to go. Bye.